Tight back, what's best? Chirp wheel, foam roller, or stability ball?
Let's go.
Hey there, Coach Chris Wilson here in the Critical Bench compound. Today I'm doing something a little different. I want to talk about stretching a tight lower back and what the best tool is to do that. Now, in my time training myself and learning about how to train the body and how to work with clients, and you come across a lot of different tools that come and go. But even when I was getting into this business back in the late 90s, stability balls and foam rollers were kind of part of it. These were tools that were being implemented in with physical therapy at rehab centers and all kinds of stuff like that. So they became kind of the norm and became popular. But over the years, other things have come about. Some have gone, and that's a good thing. And some things kind of stick around for a little while. But I wanted to do this kind of like an unboxing, as well as a comparison between what's a little bit more normal, I guess you could say, or typical in the world of stretching and training and rehabbing and everything like that. So I have this Chirp Wheel box here that came, and I've been putting off opening it for a very, very long time. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and see what we have in it. I'm pretty sure there's 3 sizes, and there they are. So we got the little guy, the medium, and the large Chirp Wheel. So they look, right out of the box, they look nice. They look like they're made well and solid. Comes with a little card that shows you some exercises: sitting on the ground, resting your upper back, rolling, different ways to utilize it. Really, most people get this for about one big reason, and anything else is just secondary. So, and as you can see here, I got a couple stability balls, and I have different types of foam rollers. I have the short, I guess you could say ridged foam roller. This one actually vibrates. This one's really cool, actually. This is from Vector Fitness. Then you got this real big knobby one, right? This one's, if you're sensitive or not used to foam rolling, I would suggest not using this until you're very familiar with the way a foam roller feels. I would start with more of a medium or high density, plain, smooth foam roller like this. So why don't we start here, and then we'll come to this. Okay, so I'm gonna move these out of the way for starters. So a traditional foam roller, they come this size. You can get the ones that are pretty much like a half version of this. They're both great. I use a foam roller just about every night before I go to bed, just to stretch my spine and pop my back, crack my back a little bit, like most people, right? So I just lay it on the ground. I get into this position here. I sit back on the foam roller so it's not on my tailbone, up from that area, like kind of at the top part of my lumbar spine, and I just roll kind of the length or the middle part. I usually don't roll with a hoodie on, but it's cold out here right now. And I already got a couple pops, just rolling here. This feels good. Now you can live in different spots, and what I mean by that is I'll just lay on the foam roller, stretching my upper back out, and just relax and breathe. And then after like 5 to 15 seconds, I'll just find a new spot and do the same thing. Relax and breathe, and just kind of sit and live in each spot with 3 to 5 breaths, just relaxing. And after I do that for a while, then I might go back to rolling the length of my back a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of nice snap, crackle pops like that, but this is my preferred method of stretching my back. Now, another thing that I will do after I roll kind of that, mid back to upper back, I will put the foam roller underneath my low back and elevate. So I'll put it like here, so it's right there on the on that lowest part, like really on my hips, right? So that I can let my tailbone, let my hips just relax and stretch out that lumbar spine and just feel that little bit of gentle pressure, I guess you could call it, on that area of the back where we're so crunched up from sitting too darn much all throughout the day. And I'll kind of just relax right there. Sometimes what I'll do, I'll even just elevate my legs. Sometimes I'll go legs up and I'll just hold. Sometimes I'll even rotate from side to side. Small, controlled movement, almost like I'm giving myself a little bit of a massage on my low back area. And again, I'll just live here for a little bit and just relax. It's really up to you to determine what feels good for you. Like this feels good. I'm decompressing my lower spine and it's just relaxing and feels good. And it's putting my spine in a position that's opposite of what I'm doing most time throughout the day. And then after I do that for a little while, then I might even go back to rolling my upper back a little bit and get a few more snap, crackle, pops. So I'll spend at least 5-6 minutes on the foam roller on a typical or an average night before I go to bed. And it just feels really good. I enjoy that. And like I said, you might want to start with a softer one. This is high density. This is very hard, very firm. It doesn't really give very much, but that's what I prefer. You might want to go with something that's about the same. And then that one I would really save for like expert level foam rolling, because that one is much more of like pressure point and really digs into the body, almost like you have a tool or someone's thumb really pushing in on you. Now, stability balls have been around forever as well, right? And there's all kinds of ways to stretch on the stability ball. You can do both, which is great. You can really just lay over the ball like this, which just is very simple, but it really lets the hips release. And like I said, I will just try to stay in positions for an extended period of time with the breath. Just getting nice big breaths in and out, letting the body just relax and giving myself, we're always go, go, go. We're always exercising, working our body, contracting our muscles. What we need to do a better job of, most of us, athletes, people who are a bit more sedentary, we need to get ourselves out of these bad postures on a more regular basis and put ourselves in postures that help alleviate compression or tension, and the breath is necessary. Now, there's other cool ways too to stretch over of a stability ball. Is you can do some side stretching, which you can't really do this with a foam roller, right? Because you don't have this much underneath you to do the side stretch. And that just feels really good. You can do that on each side for, again, an extended period of time. Or, of course, you can do your back stretch. Now, you don't have to do like full out wheel like yoga, but just laying over the ball like this can feel really good too. Again, you're able to, the ball really conforms to the body. It's very supportive. You don't have to work too hard to balance yourself. And just try and relax in this position here. And also for the neck, let the head try to conform fully to the ball. Let the hips really relax. Let the head and neck area relax. And just lay over the ball. And like with most of this stuff, there's no, I don't want to say there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just what's best for you. What's your preferred method? That's completely personal and individual. You know, I get something out of something that maybe you watching, you don't really feel much. Our bodies have gone through different things, and we require different forms of stretching. Okay, so I think that wraps up stability ball. I think you get the sense that I do enjoy the foam roller the most. That's my preferred method of stretching, but I have used the stability ball for a long time, and I do enjoy them. And just make sure with stability balls that it's the right size for you and it's inflated to the proper amount. Some people have too small or too big a stability ball, and it's either really underinflated or really overinflated. So try to fall somewhere in the middle. This is a 65 centimeter, which is probably the perfect size for me for about most any exercise or stretch. If you're really tall, you might need a 75. And if you're on the shorter side, you might want 55. And then there's smaller than that, and there's bigger than that. But 65 is kind of the sweet spot. Okay, so before I get to the Chirp Wheel, if I can balance this bad boy, I want to make you aware of something that you can have for free right after you're done watching this video. It's actually a report that we wrote that's called Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible. It's really interesting and talks a lot about the different types of stretching and the ones that are most effective compared to the ones that are least effective, or what order you should follow in your stretching routines. What should come first, what should come second or last, what you should do often, what you should maybe do less of, those kinds of things. But it's really good reading, and I think you'll love it. If you go to the pinned comment below this video, just look for that report. It's free. You can download it right now. Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible. You can learn a lot more about what I'm talking about here, but it's talking about stretching throughout the body. So let's get to this Chirp Wheel. So there's 3 of them, right? You got 3 sizes. And I mean, I've watched all the other videos that are out there on this thing. You know, there's different reasons. Like this is more the circumference of a foam roller. Very similar, right? Very similar circumference. Not identical, this is just a little bit bigger. And then of course you have your mid-size one and then your large size one. Now, let's start with the little one. I'm just curious, if I use, I'll knock it on its side. You know what's great? I can use this to prop up my stability ball, see? Look at that. So it does have a purpose. Okay, so the small one, I think will probably feel pretty nice right in that mid-back area. Yep. A little bit more kind of like those little, the double lacrosse ball or the little peanuts. We have those too. Those are really good for really localizing or trying to get to a certain spot on the body or your neck like this. There's a lot more pressure here because it's a smaller area that my body's on top of, right? Smaller circumference. So I just have this one little area of my body that has anything underneath it right now. And I feel a great deal of pressure there, and it feels pretty good. It's got a nice layer of foam on it, because if this was just a plastic ring, this would really be uncomfortable. So the fact that it has some kind of coating or barrier to it definitely helps, but that runs right between the shoulder blades, which is nice. So I could see me using something like this to stretch my upper and mid back, certainly, even the lower back to a certain degree. So if I roll this thing in real tight and then just go right here and live in this spot for a little bit, just relaxing, breathing, letting my pelvis just drop, letting those hips just drop, my butt kind of towards the ground as I breathe into it. I mean, it definitely feels pretty good. It feels plenty supportive enough without having the whole foam roller all the way out on each side. So I do like that. Now, what's the difference from that one to this one? Really just, right, it's just bigger. So I'm gonna have a little bit more emphasis on my stretch, right? So when I lay over this, now I'm able to fall more on each side. But feels very much the same on my back. But again, it definitely has a little bit more pressure and tension than just being on the foam roller. Just because I only have those kind of the two spots on my back, because there's a ridge on this thing. So it's really just either side of this where I really feel the support. I got nothing out here like I would on a foam roller, and I have this nice little alleyway here in between. So it does feel pretty good. Now I know there's other ways that you can use this. You can kind of use it as a stretching assistance tool. Like if I was trying to get my hamstrings, I could kind of use this to be able to hold my foot, or if I was to put it around my feet like this and just reach forward and hold positions. So there's like different ways to kind of use the ring to help your stretching of your spine, of your back, of your legs. So that's cool, but I would say that feels very much like the smaller one. Now the biggest one right here is gonna give me the, obviously if I could get the stability ball on there we go. So the biggest one's obviously gonna give me the most range on my stretch, and really easy to get into. The good thing is about that rubber coating is that it kind of grips you and it grips the ground, so that's a good thing. So now I have more of the feeling of like laying over a stability ball because of the size of the ring. I mean, this feels pretty good. I mean, it does have more of a wobbly feel once it gets to this bigger size compared to certainly the smallest one. You're so low to the ground that you don't feel the wobbly aspect. This definitely has more of an unstable feeling, less supportive than a stability ball. I don't know that I would really use this size for this exercise. I mean, it feels okay, but I think I'd prefer, I mean, like I said, it feels okay. I don't mind it, but it definitely has a little bit more of this, like I feel like it's gonna pitch left or right a little bit depending on how my weight is pushing down on this, versus, you know, I can't really fall anywhere when I'm using this, right? I'm so low to the ground, and this is so stable because of the length that I feel like I can completely relax and not focus at all on holding my balance or my position, okay? Much like this one, I didn't feel that either. I felt like I was very stable on this, and this felt good. Again, very close in size and diameter, but so low to the ground that you don't have that same wobbly feeling that you do from this one. And the middle ring, I guess, would be somewhere in the middle. Not as sturdy as this feeling, but certainly a bit more sturdy than the bigger ring. So, I mean, if I had the grade, I don't know, in terms of, I would probably prefer my foam roller one for stretching out my back. And I'll probably stick with what I've currently been doing for years at home. I have a half one at home. It's just a half version of this. And then I'd probably say the smallest ring here. I really actually like the way that feels. And then I would probably pick a stability ball just because of the variety of the side stretching and the ability for the ball to really conform to my body and just make me feel most supportive. Plus I've been using the darn thing for so many years that there's probably just a little bit of that comfort level from using it for so long. And this is more brand new territory. So, but I would not abandon the foam roller simply because you have this. But if you're looking to save on how many different things you have. This, I would say that the smallest wheel is probably the best for stretching out the back. But of course, when you order it, you're gonna get all three. It looks like, I don't think you can get just the small one. I think you're probably getting all of them in one box. If I had to, I don't know enough about it, but I mean, that's my, if I had to give it a grade, I'd probably give it like a B. I'd probably give it like a B. I definitely like the little one, but I would not leave my foam roller in the dust at all. I would continue to use my foam roller. And I'm just a guy that loves all these tools and stuff, so I love the stability ball for all the exercises that you can do with it for your legs, your hamstrings, right? The way you can use it for your core. So, but yeah, it's all right. I give it a B. Not in love with it, but it seems like it's cool. So there's so many ways to implement these things. There's different ways to stretch. Obviously, I've only kind of focused on, you know, putting my back and arching over the top. But there are different ways, obviously, to implement these strength tools in your exercise routine. So experiment with it, try it different ways, and see what ways work best for you. Like I said, we're not all built the same. We don't have the same needs. Men and women, older, younger, different athletic backgrounds. Some things are very challenging for us, some things easy. Some, you know, I'm kind of a tight, mid-40s, more muscle guy. So my needs are different than a 30-year-old woman maybe who does more yoga and Pilates. So there's just a lot of difference there. So hope this video was of some value to you, showing you and comparing the different ways to use these items. And please get that free resource, Why Stretching Will Not Make You Flexible. It's down, or Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible is the actual title. It's down in the pinned comment below. You can click it, enter your email, and download it instantly. It's a really great resource. It's like almost 30 pages long with pictures. It's great. And be sure to like this video, subscribe to our Critical Bench YouTube channel, leave us a comment or question about any of the things that you've seen in this video. And I look forward to seeing you in our next video.